Hey everyone, welcome to the Breuniverse. So, pretty excited today, Mike.
Yeah, we had a lot going on the past couple weeks.
I know.
I'm actually pretty excited for this one because
I know.
this is where the up and coming Breuer shining his light.
Oh, that's interesting because So the guest I have today, is such a pivotal part of my not just career but my life. And just one of the I always felt like one of the most greatest souls that I've ever been in. It just, this person, this whole period of my life changed my whole life. It helped me develop as a human on so many levels. And my hair looks pretty funky today, huh? What's going on over there?
Yeah, it works, man. It works.
It works, right?
You pull it off.
I pull it off. So so I started telling Mike here about some stuff, and hey, do we have tapes? And we found some tapes of when it really started. People go, oh, was your big break SNL? I always tell people there's no such thing as a big break. There's a billion little breaks. Just a billion. I mean, some people have big breaks, but still, I don't know. For me, the Uptown Comedy Club is a show that was the break, and not just because of the show, because of what happened off the stage, the culture of here's a white kid that grew up in this racially tension Long Island, where at the end of the block it was all black, and from us on was all white. And if one black guy come down the street, the whole block would be like, "Oh my God, put the women in the house, it's going down." And if you go on that side, they're like, "Hey man, go home, white boy." I'm like, "Oh, whoa, we're gonna." And a lot of that was news. It's all news. It's all they would, and to go from that to then I moved and then to end up in Harlem. And I'm telling you, it's one of those moments in time, those years was probably some of the greatest memories I'll ever have the rest of my life. And I wish everyone experienced the multi-layers. So with that said, that's why today it's funny. I filmed a special. Today's I love having today. So a little backstory. I was in touch with this guy for a little while and then lost touch. And then during COVID, I started making those videos where, I was getting into just, do a prayer, whatever. What the hell is behind me again with all that stuff? It really bothers me. There we go. So, and during that time too, I would also always go, I said, God, who do you want me to talk to? And what do you want me to do? And one day I was like, hey, tell Kevin Brown how thankful you are to him and that part of your life and all that jazz. And I reached out and we started talking, and then we started doing our own podcast. It was me and Kevin Brown. We started doing, but no one's ever seen them. We did a bunch of episodes, and he got COVID. I got COVID, and then then a lot of things happened in his personal life. He had a loss in his life and all that jazz. So it's just, there's such a backstory here, and I forget that he's been in the public eye. I keep forgetting that, because just like when you have a friend and you look at a friend, like I know the guys in Metallica, and James has been a family friend. I don't say that for what I'm getting at is, you forget when you see the human, the person, and you become friends with that, it brings you into a real life dimension. And when you see people going, "Oh my God, dude," you go, Oh shoot, yeah. My family does that. My nieces and nephews, we'll be having coffee. I'm like, hey, Jim, and she go, oh my God, it's still so weird to me. And I go, yeah, I know it's weird to me too. But the point of the story is, I remember Kevin, who you'll meet in a minute. I was filming my special in August of 2020, and when I was done with the special, I was coming out to say some hello to some people, and there's Kevin coming down the aisle. And I was like, oh my God, Kevin, blah, blah, blah. And I forgot that he kind of was, he's a bit of a star. So people, I know Mike and my family was like, yo, that's Kevin Brown. That's Kevin Brown. Oh yeah, he was hello to Kevin. So it's really, I forgot that side, and I really enjoyed seeing that. And we ended up hanging out that night after the special and all that jazz. So when I got the podcast still going, my studio is so unprofessional. You're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna take off that thing. Hold on a second. So funny. There we go. So when I hold on a second. I'm still not. What are we? Episode 11, 12. Give me. I'm building the studio. You got to relax. So when I started this, I told Mike right away, like, we gotta find clips of the Uptown Comedy Club, and I have VHS tapes, and we gotta get Kevin. So here we go. The day finally came, and we got Mr. Kevin Brown here.
Jim.
Oh, whoa! Wait a minute. Do you got a beard?
Yes, I did. Jimbo.
What are you doing?
What up, man?
You know what? It's good to see. I haven't seen you since August, and there was still a lot. There's a lot going on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
The first question I'm going to ask you is your house. Your house. Kevin's house burnt down. So when we started this podcast, and we would do it every Wednesday. I'd give us a lot of credit. We didn't have any production or nothing. It's all just sitting there. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Yes, sir.
And during this time, it was such a journey because you're like, yeah, my house burned. I'm like, what do you mean your house burnt down?
Yes.
You going through all this transition, then insurance would pay for. Yeah, we're not really. I know your house had this, but we don't really want to give you that. So you were going through that. There was all this stuff you were going through. So I have to personally ask, do you have your house?
Okay, so before I even start speaking,
Yeah.
Is this a clean show or can
No, you say whatever you want, man.
Okay, so I have my house.
Okay.
It's beautiful. Right?
Right.
I don't know if you have sponsors.
No.
But I have my house and it's beautiful. My insurance company. I'm not going to say the name of the company in case they want to sponsor you one day. I'm going to talk about,
okay.
I'm going to talk about their mascot. If I ever see Jake from State Farm, I'm going to whip his ass. All right? I'm not going to say the company's name, though. I'm just going to talk about Jake from State Farm. I'm not talking about the company. But Jake from State Farm, you see him all on the NBA commercials, the NBA and State Farm and whatever. And Jake, he's hanging with what's his name from the Phoenix Suns all the time, taking care of his house. He abandoned the shit out of me, right? During the pandemic. So I had great insurance. I had a great insurance policy. So they're supposed to pay like a bag of money. I'm talking about 6 figures to fix my home.
Right.
For 24 months.
I remember.
During the pandemic, they bailed out on me after about 17 months. They just bailed on me. So when I see Jake, man, I'ma smack the shit out of him. Okay, let's just put that out there right up front.
But we're not going to say the name.
We're not going to say the name of the company, though. I don't want to.
Because just in case.
I don't want to insult your sponsor, your possible future sponsors.
I may need some corporate backup.
But all that being said, they bailed on me, so I had to pivot. But I'm back in the house. I got the when you get a fire in your house, let's put it this way, in New York, because I think you moved, right? You moved to another state.
I'm in Florida, baby.
Okay, congratulations. So in the state of New York, as soon as the fire department turns the hose onto your property, your life changes, right? Because the hose, the water represents mold in the sheetrock, possible shorting of the electrical. All your soft furniture gets the smoke in the fibers of it. So it becomes a real living nightmare that you can't prepare for, right? Because the first time you have a fire is probably the first time you had a fire. You don't know exactly with that, right?
Exactly.
So it was a real life nightmare. It was 2.5 years, but I just got back in, like, this is January. I probably got back in like November.
Oh my God. Like you said, no one's a professional. Oh, you've had a fire? I've had 4. Let me tell you how it goes.
Yeah, there's no way to prepare for it. So it was an ordeal. So when we were doing the podcast, yes, I had a lot going on in my life. My mother passed away.
Mom passed.
My mother passed away on my birthday. Okay. Yeah. She passed away on my birthday. So that was, and I know your mother passed away, so you can relate to what I've been experiencing, having my first Christmas without her, my first Thanksgiving, my first New Year's.
Oh wow.
But, she was a great lady. We had a great run. I miss her all the time, but she prepared me and my siblings, to do what we got to do. So I can't even tell you that I'm healed. You know that you'll never heal from that. I can't tell you I'm healed, but I'm able to speak about it in a way that doesn't, that doesn't make me just collapse, right? Because she was a funny lady. You know her. She raised all the comics that came through the Uptown Comedy Club.
That's right.
All the
That's right.
For her Mama Brown. She raised 500 comedians.
That's right. And everyone loved Mama.
Everybody loved her, and I knew I had to share her with them. So when she passed, I couldn't talk about it immediately. Right.
I know. Right.
It was like I said, it was a Sunday afternoon. It was my birthday on April 4th. And I'm holding her hand, and I was talking to her for an hour after she was gone. I just kept talking to her, even though the doctor had already pronounced her gone. And it took me about a month after that, where I said, she raised so many comedians. I can't just keep this to myself. I gotta go. I told my publicist or somebody to post it on Facebook that she had passed. But months have gone by. That was April of last year. So I can speak about it. I'm not. I feel blessed that I had her for so long. But yeah, we were going through a lot. So when we were taping the podcast, I started forgetting about everything else. Right? Because she was diagnosed with cancer that November. Right. And then soon after she was gone. Yep. And the thing about it is, a lot of people, in the circle of life, everybody goes through this. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So one of the reasons I feel compelled, particularly as a comedian, right, as an artist, to share this is because, we're the artists. We try to put a spin on this stuff. Right. Like physicians, we're healing.
Right. We're the healers.
We're zany. The things we're going to say is stupid and inappropriate and all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
But if you can get a laugh out of somebody losing their moms, or somebody getting cancer, that's the greatest joke in the world. So that's why I don't hesitate to bring it up.
I feel I did that with both my family, both my mom and my dad. I haven't hit my mom as much. I just started, but more of like memory stuff. So I had a different relationship with my dad and my mom. And I know where you're at, because it's you have a lot of these when you're alone.
Yeah.
Okay? You have a lot of these right here. when you know you got a good hour to yourself. Sometimes you'll torture yourself. You look at her picture and go, dude, it is.
Yeah.
That comes from a gut that no one will ever understand.
Yeah.
And I will tell you this. It took me months to like be able to think of my dad or see a trigger. Like I would just be walking down the street, and if I saw someone with a wheelchair, I'd go pull down the street. If I went by an elderly home, if I saw a crap on the floor because he crap himself, it didn't matter. But it took a while, man, and I had to let it go, and I think I told you the story. Like there was a whole bird. I don't want to bore people. They've heard the story before. The cardinal, and this cardinal came to the window, was there every day, and I let my dad go. And when I let him go, what I mean by I let him go, I said, I was crying really hard. I went, you know what? I'm sorry I held on to you this long. Thank you for all you did. I'm so sorry I held on to you. It's not fair to you. Just go. I'm a man. I will figure it. It's all good. Whenever I think of you now, I'm going to laugh. And I can't wait to talk to people about you. And I'm going to feel you every day and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? That took a while. But when I did, I can tell you this. It does get better, and the healing starts to be on it. But Kev, I don't know if you've been doing stand-up, because the last time we talked, you were thinking about going back. You were also scared of COVID.
Yeah.
You weren't really ready. You're like, I think I'm ready. Have you done it since then, or are you ready?
I'm ready. I've done some shows. And it's been great being in front of an audience instead of being on Zoom, because I did a bunch of Zoom stand-up shows, right? Zoom is hard. Zoom is horrible.
Dude,
Zoom is horrible for stand-up.
It's the worst.
But I've done a lot of Zoom. But I did a few shows for the holidays live in front of people.
Okay.
And I have more stuff coming up. But the point is, I'm getting out there. I'm ready. I'm ready to resurface.
You're ready, because you were also, you had a book thing going on.
You know, I finished the book. Oh, tangent from the book. So I went back to school. Did I tell you that?
Wait a minute. You might have, if I remember, you might have said, I'm going to start going back to school. I don't know. You start talking about it. Maybe.
Okay. So I left college back in 1988.
Okay.
That was the year we were building the Uptown Comedy Club. That's the year we had named it the Uptown Comedy Club.
Okay. I did too.
1988. I said, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I didn't go back for 33 years. And you know how it was like 87, 88. I was talking to my mother, and I said, Ma, I'm thinking about leaving college, this entertainment industry, I'm thinking about following that dream.
Oh boy.
And she said, well, promise me you'll go back one day. Of course, Mom, I'm gonna go back. So I made a promise to my mother in like 87, 88 that I was gonna go back to college.
Wow.
So as a result of her passing, I got this overwhelming urge. You know what? I made a promise to Mom 30-something years ago, and I never honored that promise. And nothing, all of a sudden, I woke up one day, and the same way you did, to cry.
Yes.
I had this urge, like, remember the movie Close Encounters, when everybody was compelled to go to that mountain?
Yes, to see the thing, and it was just like
building the triangle was, and
Yeah. Womp, 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 womp.
I had that urge to go back to school and
Interesting.
get my degree and honor that promise I made to my mother 33 years ago. So
Wow.
yes, I'm back in school, right?
What are
And
yeah. What are you taking?
oh, hold on to your seat.
Okay.
Hold on to your seat. No, tell your audience. Hold on to their seat.
All right, I'm holding.
Jim, I'm taking Black Studies.
Wait. Black studies, or is that what you said?
Black Studies.
Okay. And
I'm
what
a
is
Black Studies major. All right. So when I was in school, back in the 80s,
yeah.
I was originally an engineer. I was going for electrical engineering.
Okay.
I couldn't pass calculus 3. I took it 3 times, failed it 3 times.
Ugh.
So I was ready to drop out. My mother said, don't drop out, change your major. Okay, so I changed my major to physical education.
Okay.
Okay, so I was an athlete back then. I was fit. I was an athlete, so I thought that was a good thing. But it was whack. It was boring. The kids were stupid. So it didn't hold my attention when the comedy thing popped into my life. So I was a senior when I left. I had 121 credits. I was ready to graduate, but now we're doing this Uptown Comedy Club jazz, and I didn't care anything about school anymore. But I had these 121 credits that I just walked away from.
Right.
Fast forward to 33 years later, 2021, when I go back to school, there's things I learned about college now that I didn't know back then. So when you go back, I went back to school and they didn't have my major anymore.
Okay.
So you can't graduate unless you're attached to a major.
Oh.
So I had these 121 credits, but they weren't attached to anything because the major was no longer at the school.
Okay.
So they were going to treat me like a transfer student. Any college listeners know when you get treated like a transfer students lose 70 credits right off top.
Oh, wow.
College is a business. When they say
it's
credits,
a full-blown business.
Yes, when they say credits, that's money, right? That's money.
Right.
That's $1,000 a credit, $3,000 a credit, $5,000 a credit, whatever it is. But when they say 70 credits, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of
so
money.
when I went back to school, I was trying to avoid losing 70 of my 100 credits. I mean, my 120 credits. And the professor, the advisor said, the only major that's most compatible with the credits you have is Black Studies.
What?
Now, this is a white woman. This is a white woman, right? So she had no political agenda. She just said, so I'm going to recommend that you take Black Studies and you can get out if you take 30 credits of Black Studies. And I said, 30 credits? How long is it going to take me to do that? And she said, well, depends on how much time you invest in it. So I went and I said, well, I'm not, because you know me, I've not been the we shall overcome dude. I'm not the I'm not going out marching. I know Black Lives Matter. I don't have to go out and shout it out, right? I'm not that guy.
Shout it out loud.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so this lovely white professor recommended that I take Black Studies. She said, so do you have any interest in that? And I was like, well, I don't really have interest in it, except for the fact that I'm a Black dude. But yeah, okay, I'll take it. I'm just honoring a promise to my moms. So for the last year, I've been taking my 30 credits of Black Studies. My final semester starts next week. And I'm finishing my final 6 credits. And then I'm going to have my degree. And I would have honored my promise to my moms.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yes.
That's pretty awesome.
So when I go back to school, the reason I brought it up is because when I go back to school, I'm gonna, I'm a stand-up comic now. I'm a semi-celebrity now. So I'm bringing all that to the campus, right? I'm gonna do comedy shows. I'm gonna need you to come through. I'm gonna need you to donate a visit to come to the campus and speak to the kids, and tell them your story, and we share a story. But I really want to do some stuff for the young people from my college. And my college is City College in New York on the Broadway, 141st Street and Broadway.
Kevin, you just named the day I would love to do that.
Yes, yes.
I would. I tell people I will talk about this to the day I die. Those that is. So let me ask you this: what is involved? Like, what? Give me an example of a class. I'm taking Black Studies. What am I? What is one class? Is it more historical? Is it?
Well, it's 30 credits, right? So it's a little bit of everything. But I tell you what, here's the crazy part. I've been going to school since the summer. So I took a couple classes in June for the summer session.
Okay.
Took a couple classes in August. I took a couple of classes in September, and now the fall semester starts the end of this month, like next week.
Right.
I haven't had a class on campus yet because of COVID.
Okay.
Right? This will literally be the first time the campus was open for classes in like almost 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't have a layout of what it's like being on campus, like actually interacting with the students, because all our classes been on Zoom. But
wait, do they when they're doing the class, you can all see each other or no? You can't see each other.
Oh,
right?
you can see each other, but let me tell you about these rotten college students, man. College students are such assholes, yo. They get on a Zoom call and they don't turn their cameras on. So the professor is there talking to a screen of 29 students and nobody's cameras on. Right? And I'm looking at them like my first semester, it blew my mind because I'm like, who raised you? Why you don't have no upbringing? You being so disrespectful to these students, right? They were getting me so uncomfortable. So I'm the only one turning my camera on. But I felt like such a sellout. I felt like such an asshole. You know, the teacher's pet that brings the apple to the professor. I felt like I was that cornball. So I was conflicted the whole time. And then I'm older than all my professors. They're babies. They're PhDs and they're babies. They're kids, but they got PhDs and they're all babies. And then, they disrespected me my very first class. They asked me, what are my pronouns? That's a thing. What are your pronouns? And I'm like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What are your pronouns? How do we refer to you? Now, we from back in the day where if you got a penis, you're a he, and if you got a vagina, you're a she. What are you asking me what my pronouns are? But that's a serious issue on these college campuses. So I didn't know. I didn't really take it that seriously. So I was like, yeah, my pronouns are whoever. whoever and whatever. You know, they referred to me as whoever and whatever throughout the whole semester.
We're gonna go to whoever and whatever.
Yeah.
What do you feel about when we're looking at the 1600s when it comes to the African community that are now coming through? Whoever, whatever. What are your thoughts?
That's what it was. They take that identity stuff is a big. That's not even a political incorrect jazz, but that's serious business to them. That's serious business. That could get you thrown out of school type deal.
It sounds like a nice brainwashing programming that people are paying for. Those people need to be ousted ASAP. Who came? They need a guy coming off a construction site going, so my kid said that you said, what's the pronoun? Who made this rule up? I need to talk to that person. I need to talk to the person who made the rule. I need to talk to the person that charged me $35,000 to dehumanize my intelligence, my natural ability of what humanity is defined in. Oh, look, there's a male donkey, a female donkey. The male donkey does his little a little deeper. The female, dude. The fact that people even argue this or try to date it, I want to giggle at them. And it's no disrespect to you. It's just stop with the lunacy. Stop. If you don't know what you are, find help.
It's a thing, man. It's a thing. But these students, they're so weird. Like they'll come to class and it seems like they just log on, turn their cameras off, and then go back to sleep. Roll over and go back to sleep. They don't ask questions, they don't engage, they don't take notes. It's the most and maybe we were like that. I don't know if you went to college back in the day. Maybe
I went to it.
Well, maybe I was like that. Maybe I was one of them, and now that I'm grown, I'm the old guy that's way too old to even be, doing this stuff. But I wasn't going there. I went there with a mission. I'm not going there to change the world. I'm not going there to protest. They have that degree. I promised my mother I'm gonna get it, and nothing's gonna stop me from getting it. That's really my bottom line.
Right. And I think a lot of the kids too, they don't know why they're there. They feel forced to be there. Meaning, okay, so the system, we have now graduated. Now we must go to college. Now we must pick a career. Now we must commit to a career. Now I need health insurance. Now I'm in debt. COVID. What did the media say today? Trust the experts. I know how to study. Dude, don't get me started.
And I know you have a little one. You have a young one in college, right? You got a little daughter. You got a daughter.
I got
oldest daughter.
One is going online. One went to college and she lost the bank, which basically is like, okay. And I knew from the beginning. I pulled her aside. I said, listen to me. Are you sure you're not going just to go, woo? Because if you are, we can figure something out. I'd rather help you for the next year or two. You work, and while you're working, you then go, you know what I really want to do? And then you're off to the races. But if you're going just to get out of the house, no, I swear to God, I'm good. Okay, took the money, just threw it out the window. Like, I remember visiting her. I said, oh, can I see my family? Oh, we all fly down there the first night. I can't really hang out tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, well, I just spent $2,000 and $3,000 in airfare with the whole family and everything. I'll be there tomorrow. Come tomorrow, 10 o'clock, 11 a.m. My wife's going, why isn't she? I don't know. Well, see what the hell she's doing. What are you doing? We're all waiting for you to breakfast. Oh, sorry. I could smell the booze from 50 yards away. We got eggs. Dude, it was such a Sunday. It was like, hey, I can't hang out. It's Bob Ross Day. What? Yeah. So long story short, she's done. She now does online and pays for everything. The middle one goes to college, just changed her major. She's super excited. The youngest one is in high school. I have no clue what direction she's going to go. She has the motivation of school and sports of a gnat. She just don't. I'm like, Dory, join volleyball. You got to join a sport. All right, well, you can't just come home and just sit in your room. So it's a little. I got a year and a half. I don't know where that kid's going. Although she's a very smart kid.
Yeah.
She's very deep. She's very spiritual, all that jazz. I ain't worried about her. But at the end of the day, yes, I have kids in college. And just like you, Kevin, they've been indoctrinated with some intense views that I just don't understand. I have a hard time. And they think and I am dumb, but they like disrespect. I'm pretty sure my kids completely have their respect for me as a comedian, maybe, or that I make money. And once in a while, they're like, so-and-so, and that guy. But when it comes to giving advice, I think they're just like, he's full blown moron, and mom's even dumber, and so it's a rough period. But people are like, oh, it'll change. I don't know why I went off. See, you opened up a wound just saying college.
Well, I tell you. So my daughter, I was hanging with my daughter like a week ago. She lives out in Maryland, and she wanted to introduce me to her boyfriend. Now, daughters don't understand the father-boyfriend relationship, right? First thing I said to the boyfriend, first of all, he's a little pretty boy, right?
Yes.
He's a little pretty boy. I call him Bridgerton. You saw the show Bridgerton on Netflix? I call him Bridgerton, right? Little cutie dude. So I know he's going to break my daughter's heart at some point. I know it. That's all I'm thinking about. So the first thing I say to him when I see Bridgerton, I'm like, hey, man, how are you, sir? I said, do you drive? He said, yes, I do. Now, I got a new car, so maybe he's thinking I'm asking if he drives so I could lend him my car when he's taking out my daughter. But that's not where I was going. I say, so you have a driver's license? He said, yes, I do. I said, well, do me a favor, man. Take a picture of your driver's license and text it to me. he says, huh?
He said, huh?
I said, take a picture of your driver's license and text it to me. He said, okay. And then I go, all right, so what's up? Tell me a bit about yourself. So my daughter, she comes back. And I say, hey, baby girl, I just asked Bridgerton to take a picture of his driver's license and text it to me. I said, hey, Bridgerton, did you text the driver's license to me? He said, well, I don't have your number. I said, baby girl, Bridgerton doesn't have my number, but I asked for the license. This is my daughter. She gives the response that every daughter gives to every father. Dad. I said, don't dad me. He didn't text me his driver's license. Help him out with that. I want her to be what's the word? Complicit. I want her to be right. I want to implicate her in the transaction. I said, help him out with that. So she had to give him my number so he could text me his driver's license. Now, I don't know if he came to the conclusion, but every father knows, every grown-up knows, if you got somebody's driver's license, you can find them.
That's right.
Whenever you need to. You don't have to find them this year, right? You don't have to find them this week. You can wait 10 years from now and send a little hit squad over there to stomp them out. Right?
A friendly reminder.
Yes, sir. Oh, I thought you was going to give me a reminder.
No.
Oh,
you can send them a friendly reminder.
A friendly reminder, right?
Hey, remember us?
Yes, absolutely. So I don't know if he understood the magnitude of my request, right? But I made my daughter complicit, so she gave him the number. But when she said, Dad, she knew why I was asking.
Yeah.
Because when relationships go bad, I don't want her to be, I don't want to have to ask her permission. I don't want to have to do a tender little dance around her emotions to get her permission to find this dude. I don't want to ask her no more questions. She got to know. You bring a pretty boy around, you bring Bridgerton around, and you want him to meet your father. Okay, I met him. Give me his license. Now we'll never speak about it again. But as soon as something goes down, it's gonna go down. And I'm not gonna ask you a blessing. I'm not gonna ask you to sign off. It's gonna be like Sonny rolling up on the brother from The Godfather. Remember Sonny stomping out the brother-in-law when he hit his sister? It's gonna be like that. And daughters don't know. When you meet the boyfriend, I know every woman I ever dated, when they introduce me to their father, the father's sizing me up, right? They looking at me, they say I'm 6'5", I'm 300 pounds. They like, oh, I can't fight this dude. I'm gonna have to shoot his ass. I'm a guy you have to shoot, right? when a big monster come in with your daughter, like me, you gonna have to pull out the shotgun if I get out of line. But I think I could take Bridgerton, right?
Right.
I think I could take him. He got a ponytail.
No.
I just wanted to grab him by the ponytail. He didn't even do nothing. He's a great kid, but I just wanted to grab him by the ponytail. And there was this part in the movie New Jack City. Wesley Snipes grabbed the Italian dude by the ponytail and cuts his ponytail off and says, "You squingily eating motherfucker," and kicks him out. That kept running through my mind. He has no idea. He has no idea while he's meeting his woman's father that all I'm thinking is I could grab you by that ponytail and cut it off and throw you out the house and call you a squingily eating motherfucker. That's what I kept thinking. He has no idea how many ways I thought about beating him up.
I've been there, man.
That's what you got to do when you got these daughters. That's what you got to do.
I do whole scenarios in my head. I used to where like I got them, and now they're in a place where I go, you can yell all you want because ain't nobody can hear you. Yeah. I'm the guy from Half Baked. That's me. Now, here's something my daughters don't know about me. This is not going to end well. I told you not to disrespect my home, but what did you do? You disrespect my home. Take your shoes off. Huh? Take your shoes off. We're going to start with your toes. Oh, my God. Yeah, I've gone into... I'll tell you a funny story.
Okay. You sound like you're not sure if the statute of limitations has expired.
You'll like this one. I think a lot of fathers will like this one. You know what? Now, this is allegedly. This could be it's just Jim Breuer telling a silly story. This is, boy, I wish I did this story.
You had to do the disclaimer, right? You had to do the legal disclaimer. Okay, go ahead.
Everything said is oh, shoot. Hold on a second there. Oh, damn it. Hold on. What'd I do? God damn it. How do I even get back now? Hold on.
That's the forces above saying, don't tell that story, Jim.
You know what? You may be onto something, Kev. You know what? I'm going to take that as the forces going.
That's the network. That's the network. That's State Farm.
Oh, brother. So is the boyfriend still in the picture?
Oh, no. This is 2 weeks ago. He's still around. This is my first time meeting him. She's been with him she's known him for 2-3 years.
Oh, okay.
He kept saying, I really want you to meet him. And I didn't care. I didn't care to meet him. But, my baby. So I'm going to do what I got to do.
Oh.
But yeah, this is like 3 weeks ago I met this dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. One kid, I always said, listen, stop parking. If you're going to park in my driveway, go to the end of the driveway. I have a very long driveway, and it's dark and whatever. And when my garage door would open, once in a while, people would park directly behind it. The last thing I'm looking for is when I come out of my own garage is someone else's car parked in the way.
Right.
So I walk in the house and this kid's drinking a beer, and I go, "Hey, I brought you beer, so I figured I'd have one of yours. It's like a little trade-off." I want to see you came in the house and you went in the fridge. You just made yourself at home. Well, it's not like that. It's just, you should try these beers because I'm like, yeah, I don't really drink beer, but okay. So I'm already. Like,
strike one.
This kid came in my house and opened my fridge and took this out. Wow. Okay. Then my other big rule is always, hey man, no in the basement. No in the basement. If I'm home, I know that you guys are not going in the basement. I think we're an hour later. I'm doing stuff. My wife is doing stuff. We have a neighbor coming over. The neighbor has kids over, blah, blah, blah. My wife then goes, can you take the neighbor's kid home that lives a couple miles away? I said, sure, man, hop in the car. I go, where are these two? She's like, oh, they're watching a movie in the basement.
Mm.
Strike two. Strike two. I get in the car. I'm a little pissed. I back out of the driveway. It's pitch black. Now, when I come out of my driveway and I go down the long part, I go backwards. My father would drive a truck, and he taught me to this day always to look at the side view mirrors and know how to measure the side view. God forbid you can't use, this is before there were cameras on the car. And this day, I'll use the cameras to look, but I use the side view mirror. And so the side view mirror, I go along with the curb and I put it in reverse and I go, whoa, I go flying down the driveway until I hit the street. And then I slow down, I look to see who I am, and then Batman's off. Well, I got me and this 14-year-old kid in the car, and I put it in reverse and pow! What the fuck? What was that? And he looks at me. I didn't know if I hit a bear. We have bears by our house. I don't know. I look in the rear view mirror and I see a car heading down the driveway past me. We both look like, what the? A car is, now my driveway does a little curve at the end, and the car's picking up speed, goes down the driveway, and I go, oh my God, if there's a car coming down the street, this is going to be horrible. The car goes in the street, slams, goes across the street, goes up a curb, does one of those, boom, 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 goes into some bushes and then branches and stuff. I go, oh my God. We go out and we look at it. I'm assessing it. There's things hanging and dangling. I say, oh my God. I just bought this car 2 days ago. It's the kid. It's this dummy's kid. It's just, anyway, you know what? The other kid's howling with laughter. He's howling with laughter. He's looking at the mud skid marks. He's looking at the branches all over the car, the scratches on it. He's howling. He can't.
Wait, let me see if I got this right. You came out, you sped down the driveway backing out. And before you got out the driveway, another car comes out your driveway.
Yeah.
So wait, so it was only you two cars?
Yeah. So I backed out, and this kid's in the 14-year-old kid I'm bringing home is in the car with me. And as I'm flying down the driveway, I did not know someone parked a car in the middle of the driveway in the blackest spot near the street. No reason to park there. That means you're blocking the entire driveway. When you pull my driveway, you go to the end where there's 4 spaces. You don't park in the pitch black under a tree where no one can see you while you're blocking the driveway.
Okay, got it.
So while I'm backing up, pow!
Okay.
I'm looking out my side view mirror. I'm not looking this way. I don't need to. There's no cars in the driveway.
Right.
So I smash this thing. It goes flying into the street and off into the next neighbor's yard. Oh my. I get out. The 14-year-old is howling with oh, Mr. Jimmy. He calls him Mr. Jimmy. Oh my God, Mr. Jimmy, look, look at the light. It's dangling. He goes, I can fix it. And he's pushing it back, and there's a bumper, and he's fixing the bumper. He's, oh my God, it scratches. And I'm like, we'll do it. So I bring him home. I bring the kid home. I come back. And I go, I'm just going to tell him. This kid took my beer. He's in the basement with my girl. He parked where I told him not to park. And now I got to tell him. I come in, Kev, and I notice they haven't come up from the basement. And then I see his keys on the counter. And I said, you know what? I go back outside, I take my car, I pull it in the garage. I walk down the dark driveway, across the street onto the other people's property, start his car, pull it exactly where he parked it. I get out of the car, fix whatever I had to fix, pushed everything back what I had to push back, went back in the house, put the keys exactly where I found them, went up, took a shower. Never heard nothing.
That is a great story.
Supposedly. Now, this all could be an illusion, everybody. Remember, I'm a storyteller. Wum, 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 wum. Yeah, it's too late now. You ain't never going to prove that.
You're father of the year. I love that.
Father of the year goes to Jim Breuer, who smashed his girlfriend's boyfriend, his daughter's boyfriend's car onto the next neighborhood, acted as if nothing happened. Let's give this guy a toast.
Yo, that's better than cutting off his ponytail. That's even better. I love that story. I would have never done that. I would have never.
So
I
wait
would
a
have
second.
never had the. I won't say I'm not going to say I'm too honorable to do it. I'm not that creative. I'm not. I love that story.
I'm a moral guy. I feel like I'm a very moral guy, and I should do the right thing. And that's that one moment where I have to say, whether it was right or wrong, it felt good, real good. And
it serves him right. It serves him right.
It's karma.
Yeah.
That's all. That's how I look at it.
Think of all the things he did to your little girl that you are.
Hey, man, we're going to have to catch up way more. We just smacked out an hour and we didn't even get to anything that we were going to do.
Yeah. Yo, I'm available. My classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So my Wednesdays are free. Every other day is free. It's like my little 6 credits is I think I go to school from 2:00 to 4:15.
Okay.
On Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
So any other time you need me, man, I'm down. I love talking to you. We got a whole lot of stuff to hit, and we didn't hit.
We didn't hit anything.
We didn't hit any of it. We just getting warmed up. How's the missus? How's the family?
We're really good. She's in Philadelphia getting her treatment. She'll be home. We got a brand new house here in Florida.
Yes. How you liking it? How you like it?
I love it. We're not settled yet.
Right.
Like beds and the furniture. And
yes.
We have nowhere to sit to eat. But we're in the house. The pool's not done, but it's all good. I can't wait. We're settled in. You come take a trip down here. I know you're not into nature.
No, I am now. I've changed. I've changed my life, man.
Yeah, we got to catch up on all that.
Yes. I've changed my life. I'm smarter. School has definitely made me smarter. I was always a pretty smart guy.
You were a smart guy.
But there were moments, man, because school has changed. There were moments where I had to write 10-page papers, 12-page papers.
Oh.
And school has changed because they're big on citations and bibliographies and footnotes. Now, back in the 80s, I never wrote a footnote in my life. I never wrote a bibliography in my life. I had to learn all this stuff. There were moments when I was writing my papers and taking these finals that my head would start hurting, right? And I realized that your brain is like a muscle. It's like going to the gym.
That's right.
And you're working out your brain and it's getting stronger and there's going to be the soreness, right?
Yeah.
But I am so much smarter. I'm a much better human being since I went back to school. But I did learn being smart doesn't mean you're right, right? The biggest thing I learned when I went back to school was you can be educated and still be a fool. That's the most important lesson I learned, right?
Bob Marley said that.
Bob Marley said that?
Bob Marley said this on an interview because we watched it over and over and over years ago. Bob Marley to me was a great prophet.
Yes, absolutely.
He said he was being interviewed, and the guy's like, success. He's like, what? How you define success? And he goes, well, are you a rich man? He goes, how you define rich? What's rich? And the guy goes, well, you make money, but he mentioned, but you're not an educated man. He goes, my mom taught me, my mom taught me spirit and love. If I was educated, I'd be a damn fool.
Mm.
One life, one love. Let's get together, dude. We need to get rid of this son of a bitch. He's united all different races and genders. He's definitely a threat, sir. Send out the boogeyman. Get that man some cancer or shoot him.
Listen, I'm meeting a lot of educated fools out here, right? Meeting a lot of educated fools. But it's funny you brought that up because I thought my quote was original. I thought when I came up with my quote, I thought it was the first time anybody ever heard that. Bob Marley is my mentor now.
I'm gonna find that clip. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yes.
It was
I'm in school. I'm excited about life. I got a ton of new material. School is just a material. What's that thing? Petri dish, right? So I'm enjoying preparing for tomorrow, right? I'm enjoying that.
Good, and I hope I look forward to the next time you're doing stand up or something and getting out there and just life. I love this journey we're on. I don't know where we're at, but I'm glad where you're at.
Yeah, well, two things. One is your girl that called me Annie. So, Annie is my mother's first name, right? So I loved her immediately, right? Just by seeing her text having the same name as my mother. But I tell you what, I am I'm preparing my one-man show, right?
Okay.
Because I don't know if I can do what you do, right? The big theaters. I don't know if I can do that. But I don't know if I'm ready in the sense of I don't really like the road. I never have fun times on the road. But because I miss everything when I leave, right? But one of the guys, he used to be on SNL. He was he's an older comic. Jerry Seinfeld produced a play for him.
Colin?
Okay. So me and Colin, we were both volunteering, like guest teaching at a high school in Brooklyn, and they paired us together, like on career day.
Wow. Okay.
And me and Colin, we taught this class together, right? Random. We didn't do it on purpose. Like I happened to donate my time, he happened to donate his time, and we both were at this same high school. So Colin does theater, right? He does his stand-up comedy like it's a one-man show.
Right.
And he told me this 15 years ago. Get out of those comedy clubs, right? There's nothing in there for you. Where you want to be is in the theater. They have these off-Broadway theaters. There's no waitress taking drink orders. There's no hecklers. And it's beautiful. So he planted the seed in my head 15 years ago when we did this random, teaching this class for some high school kids. So that's where that's what my sights are set on now. Completing this one-man show and getting ready to go out into the theater world.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I'd love to hear more about it. I'm always here if you want to pick brain or if I can.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Cool.
I appreciate you thinking of me. I'm available. I don't know if you know, because you said you forgot I was a celebrity or people know me. I was on a show called 30 Rock.
Yeah.
It was the biggest show at the time. It was the biggest show of its time. It got nominated for more Emmy Awards in one season than any show in history. It was a huge show.
Yeah.
Like people give a fuck about me, right?
Yeah.
Like people give a fuck about me. But not my people. Like black people did not watch 30 Rock. It was a really
It's
white
a white
people show. So all my fans are white.
Right.
So I can live my life with no hoopla, with no pomp and circumstance. Because when black people see me, I look like every CO at every prison in the country, right? There's a CO that looks like me. There's a bouncer at every club at the door that looks like me. So some people don't like me right off the bat just because I look like somebody that threw them in a jail cell or stomped them out. Right. So I know that. But the point is, I'm looking forward to jumping out here into this abyss of entertainment. Oh, last story. I'm going overtime. You just edit this out.
I don't care, man. I
Fix this in post, right?
Take your time.
So Bridgerton, the boyfriend, he said he's a handsome kid. He said he's getting into modeling. And this is to tie into when you said I don't want to give advice or whatever. You were talking about yourself in your story a few minutes ago.
Yes.
So when I ran into Bridgerton and he said he was getting into modeling, I dropped advice on him. And I told him this. Now, mind you, I like him because he's a good kid. My daughter loves him, but I don't like him, right? I would love to crash his car and hide the damage and replace it and act like nothing happened. I would love to do that to him. But when he told me that he's getting into modeling, you want your woman, you want your daughter to have a boyfriend who can support himself, right? You don't want her to have to support this clown.
Right.
So I immediately give him some advice. I said, listen, man, you didn't ask for this advice, but the way I am with my advice, I don't care what you do with it after I give it to you, right? That's on you, but it's my obligation to give it to you, right? You can take it and listen. You can dismiss it and throw it in the garbage.
Right.
But if you don't believe that I know what I'm talking about, Google me, right? And see that my resume is real, right? So I'm telling him about the modeling because in modeling, we know how they take advantage of the young ladies, right? Oh. We know how every young lady got a horror story about the casting couch. What we don't hear about is how they take advantage of the boys, of the young men.
Too.
I know because we in the business.
Yes.
So I let them know in this industry, there are some of the biggest pedophiles, the biggest sexual deviants, the biggest monsters in the world. So I'm letting Bridgerton know this on our first meeting. And I said, this is what I don't want you to do. Don't think I'm joking and don't think I'm exaggerating because I still live this life. I still see it. So if you're going to get into this game, just recognize, don't be Terry Crews talking about the agent fondled me and I didn't know what to do. Terry Crews is an NFL football player, man. You could have, he's grabbing the payday. He probably got a 7-figure check to settle that, right? But the point is, the way we hear about all these young ladies in the Me Too, I can't wait for the day when the young men come out, when the dudes come out talking about how, the industry, some big executive raped them, because there's a lot of stories like that. So
now that's conspiracy stuff. How would you know things? I mean, come on. There's a guy in one. You don't know.
Well, you know what? The best thing about being unemployed is you can't cancel me,
dude. That's how I feel. I'm like,
right?
I got people going, Breuer. That video, I recorded a podcast with P. Corielli, and he's kind of poking fun of me. He's like, if you knew what Hollywood, what is it, bro? Like, what am I going to tell you? Fine details? No, because then I'm like, wow, this is great food. I'm not doing that. You figure it out, dummy. But anyway, yeah, we'll just leave it at this.
Yes, sir.
Dad.
Yes, sir. Jim, it was a pleasure, man.
I can't wait either.
It was a pleasure. Give the wife my regards and the family. I don't know if I met your little girls, maybe when they were babies, the oldest one, but give them all a hug for me.
I will.
I'm traveling now. I'm fearless, even though I took extra vaccinations, right?
You got booster, all that.
I got the booster. I heard they were giving $100 for the shot, so I went out and got shots for stuff that wasn't even contagious, right?
Did you get your French fries and
I was
cheeseburger?
racking up that money. I got shots for athlete's foot. I got the bad breath vaccine. I was collecting my $100. So I feel super protected. So I'm not afraid to travel. So as soon as you give the invitation to come out to Florida, I'm gonna jump in my new ride and I'm gonna come out there and hang with you.
All right, man. I look forward to it. I love you, bro.
Love you too, bro. Thanks for having me. And tell Mike, thank you, Mike. He can hear me, right? Mike,
he
thanks,
can
man.
hear you. It's been beyond a pleasure. We'll catch up soon. I'll give you a text soon.
Yes, sir.
I'll text you later. Love you, bro. All right, everyone. Kevin Brown. And like I said, I'm gonna take this out. Hold on, because my battery was dying, which is why I don't know if the sound changed, but put that in.
Kevin Brown. I love that man. And I hope we have a lot more journeys with Kevin Brown. And we take it again. We didn't even get into the history of where we met, how my life changed, the stories from there. They're so incredible, those years in Harlem. And his, God rest her soul, mother she was a mother to everybody. Even the father was there. It's an incredible family. And for at least that time in my life, I cherish it for the rest of my life. So anyway, today was a great time for me. I'm absolutely honored that Kevin Brown came on to do the Breuniverse. And Mike, I thank you for all your help and everything you do for me. And Annie, thanks for hooking things up. And to all the Patreon members, we're going to be showing a lot more videos too that we're not going to put for everyone else to see, just for you and the Patreon, especially some of that vintage stuff. Maybe after this, if you're on Patreon, we'll find some Uptown Comedy Club little pieces and Mike could throw it up there for you. Besides that, I wish you all the very best. Lots of love, lots of laughter. Now, life is short, man. Take advantage of it. Be careful where you spend a lot of your energy. All the best to you. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll see you next time in the Breuniverse.
Gonna be a Broadway play in 3 years.
6 foot safe.
You look great, Grandpa. Take out your cameras for selfies, because Jim wanted his head sticking out the edge of the cannon. Oh my God, I love these. Sexist, racist, rights, gay rights, people rights, human rights.
For what you are about to receive.
And may you all have love and laughter in this crazy lifetime we're living.